How much risk needs to come out of the oil market if things with Syria continue as they have been over the weekend?
Well, I think Syria is part of it, and there was obviously a run-up on that. But the real key is that we've got global growth. To the degree it continues, we're going to be in a position where I think that global growth, along with what's the implosion in Venezuela's ability to produce oil, gives us a workable mid-60s oil price. Is it a little ahead of itself? Perhaps. But I also think the gap between WTI and Brent could narrow in favor of Brent coming down some versus WTI.
And the question it continues, though, in terms of May 12th, and that's when the U.S. has to decide if they're going to continue to give waivers to sanctions on Iran. What's your prediction for what happens, and how do we trade around that event?
That's a big one. I think it feels like the U.S. is going to look to do something additional. That, along with what may be announced today with Russia, really keeps it complicated. And one of the issues you've got to keep in mind is one of the ways for Russia and Iran to deal with sanctions is to create more mischief in parts of the world that are unpredictable right now, but wouldn't surprise me if we have some pushback one way or another where they can push on the instability in that part of the world.
So, Tom, as Alix says, there's been a lot of reporting about the May 12 deadline about possible Iran sanctions. How effective could the United States really be? Let's assume they do want to go forward aggressively. How effective they can be? I mean, because often sanctions have a fair amount of leakage in them.
Very good point, and it's not at all clear that Europe wants to align as closely with the U.S. on this one as at least parts of Europe have been able to do on dealing with Syria. So I think leakage will be a problem.